Alright guys, hey, what's up? This is Brian here, doing a show on the road, and I just got out of a late night showing for The Dark Tower. Yeah, there are some other movies that came out, Detroit, and wanted to see War of the Planet of the Apes, but a friend of mine was inviting me to watch The Dark Tower with him and a few other friends, because The Dark Tower is one of his favorite book series, and it's Stephen King's magnum opus, according to him. So yeah, why not go see this movie with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, who are two very awesome actors that I've really appreciated over the last few years, especially Matthew McConaughey. With his movie choices, I need to see more of Idris Elba's stuff, but besides the Thor movies. But yeah, they've all done pretty good. Anyway, yeah, so basically there's a dark tower that pretty much prevents evil from excuse me, cold, going rampant on the universe, basically. And Matthew McConaughey's character, which is pretty much the devil, Man in Black, he is trying to destroy it by using the minds of children as weapons to tear it down, and he's getting pretty close to doing so. And of course, the one person that can stop him is the gunslinger, who is Idris Elba. And yeah, so there's this kid, I think his name is Jake Chambers, I think. Yeah. He has these kind of dreams about this gunslinger and where to find him and stuff, and he ends up finding him, and together they are going to try and save the Dark Tower and stop Matthew McConaughey's Man in Black. That was pretty harmless movie. Nothing really special about it. I think the editing was a little slow. Editing was kind of weird in a few parts. It was short. It was a pretty short movie, surprisingly. So won't fault it for length and being too long. But it kind of felt first 30 minutes were definitely the slowest part. The last half was a little better. I think they pretty much showed all of the action sequences in the trailers. Kind of felt like it had a low budget, despite some of the cool special effects that it had on a few occasions. Just felt very small. Didn't feel as grandiose. Apparently, I think this movie is a sequel to all of the books, so for accuracy on the books, I'm not sure, and I haven't read the books, so I apologize for that. The friend that invited me, he did, and he's still processing it as of this video recording, so can't really say much. But anyway, yeah, I mean, all the performances were great. I like Idris Elba. I think Matthew McConaughey, he kind of hammed it up for this role, but I thought that it was appropriate. He's kind of confident with all this, just walks right on in with stride. He, just takes it. He's probably my favorite. He's my favorite part of the movie. Idris Elba also does a great job. As just sort of a guy that kind of struggles with, his responsibilities and what he needs to do, and he's lost his father. He's pretty much the last of his kind. He's just kind of lonely and thinks that the war's lost, but the kid inspires him, and he gets back on his feet and does it again. So he kind of does it. They kind of rush that a bit, and then Jake Chambers, yeah, it was cool. I think I forget his best friend And I say best friend because he's like the only person he'll talk with. Yeah, the conversations were really dumb. Terrible dialogue, and he hardly has anything to do. He just kind of sort of exposition, sort of gets you to the next scene. Not a whole lot to do. His mom and stepdad are kind of pointless as well. Don't really get a sense of, connection, a whole lot of connection between him. Maybe a little bit between the mom and Jake, but that's about it. Towards the beginning. I'm trying to think what else is there that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of forgettable characters. They don't really do a whole lot. We didn't really invest in them a whole lot. Don't really see them too much. Which is fine, but when you're interacting with people, you don't know a whole lot about the Dark Tower. You just kind of have some beginning text to, kind of introduce what the Dark Tower is and what it does and how it can be destroyed. Just not a whole lot there. Anyway, yeah, it's just kind of boring. You get your climax, it's just kind of your basic little beam in the sky sort of deal. We've seen it in Avengers, we've seen it in Suicide Squad, every other Marvel superhero movie, Man of Steel. You kind of have that, sort of theme, and I'm like, what is it with those things? We've kind of done them to death. So, anyway, it is what it is. So I hope that, they don't, if they do it again. I will say that I wish that this was like a mini-series or some sort of TV series, like on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu, whatever, streaming service would pick this up. Because, it has a lot of potential. Like, there's there's 8 books worth of depth in this world to work with here, and they kind of wasted it on like just a little over an hour, maybe an hour 15 minutes. That's kind of what it felt like, at most, movie. And I'm like, oh, you could have done so much more with this, but apparently they didn't. So yeah, can't really fault the actors. They did what they could with the material that they were given. The dialogue was just awful. Editing was so-so. Action sequences, for what they had was fine. It was just, a little underwhelming a lot. So I'll give this a high leave you hanging. I felt like it could have done a lot more, and I saw a lot of potential, but it was just for the most part, a boring movie. With, Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba kind of carrying the movie on their shoulders, going through. Just wasn't that... Yeah, but they couldn't do it on their own. They needed more people, and they just didn't really step up to the plate. I'll say actor who did Jacob, Chambers, did a good job for what he had, but yeah, he just kind of had a blank face or one face for the majority of the movie. Yeah, that's kind of it. So, save your money for something else. This could be like a Redbox movie, really. Go watch Detroit. Go watch some other movies coming out or that are already out. War for the Planet of the Apes, The Big Sick, Baby Driver, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man. And it's a harmless movie, but just I think that you might like something better. For those who are fans of the books, you might be disappointed. Anyway, I'll stop there. My name's Brian, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.